Imagine being able to detect lies not through fancy machines or overloading someone with questions, but by closely observing how they speak, scrutinizing the slight pauses before they respond, and evaluating the structure of their story. This skill isn't reserved for movie detectives. It's grounded in real science. With the proper knowledge and keen observation, you can learn to identify the subtle indicators of deception. Discover the secrets of the mind with our step-by-step approach, where we explore the complex reactions the brain has to lying and teach you how to lay the groundwork for detecting lies. You'll learn that lying is more than just words. It deeply affects the brain, revealing a person's most vulnerable side. Make sure to watch to the end so you can effectively spot lies, as step number 5 is the most critical in applying what you've learned to real-life situations. Step 1. Lay the groundwork for detection. Establishing a baseline is like charting a map before embarking on a journey, focusing on the usual nuances of someone's communication, their facial expressions, and their everyday behaviors. This process allows you to familiarize yourself with the natural features of their personality, such as how the person laughs, the sparkle in their eyes during excitement, or their thoughtful gestures, making it easier to detect when something diverges from the norm. Observing these details isn't for the sake of judgment, but rather for building a deep understanding, preparing you to navigate the complexities of human interactions with greater insight. This initial mapping equips you with the tools to recognize and approach deviations with curiosity rather than suspicion, transforming every conversation into an opportunity for deeper connection and understanding. By learning to understand emotions and behaviors, you become skilled at noticing unusual signs, like sudden hesitations or changes in body language that differ from what's typical. These signs become markers, signaling a need to delve deeper with empathy and sensitivity. Thus, setting a baseline isn't just a step towards detecting deceit. It's a foundational practice for enriching your interactions and enhancing your ability to engage on a more profound level. Step 2. Harness the power of inquiry. Imagine you're like a detective in a movie, asking questions that light up the dark spots of a story. When you ask open-ended questions, you're inviting someone to share their story in detail. This isn't just about getting answers, it's about really listening to how they answer. You create a space where it's safe to tell the truth, making it hard for lies to stick around. Think of it as slowly pulling on a string, revealing the story bit by bit, and watching for anything that doesn't seem right. Using a strategy known as asymmetric information management, as an example, shows how this could work. AIM encourages people to share lots of detailed information, which makes it hard for lies to stay hidden. It makes telling the truth easier because liars have to remember all the made-up details they've added, which is tough to do. For example, let's say you are talking to a friend who says they had an amazing weekend adventure. You ask them, "What places did you visit, and what was special about each?" This question makes them give you more details. If they're telling the truth, they'll easily dive into vivid stories. But if they're lying, they'll have a hard time keeping their story straight, showing they might not be honest. This way, AIM helps you tell if someone is lying, not just by catching them, but by making your conversations deeper, building trust, and making it easier for everyone to be open and honest. If you're enjoying this video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to us. Your support helps us keep making videos you love. Thank you so much. Step 3. Decipher the essence of their narratives. Exploring the depth of stories is comparable to embarking on a journey of discovery, much like an archaeologist who meticulously sifts through the Earth's layers to unearth hidden treasures long buried. As you delve into the narratives presented to you, it's crucial to pay careful attention to the intricacies within these tales. The emotions, the vivid memories that cling to each word, and the subtle nuances that paint a fuller picture. True stories are often rich with detailed descriptions and colorful imagery, standing in stark contrast to fabricated ones that lack depth and authenticity. It's like comparing a real flower, soft and alive under the sun, to a fake one that might look similar, but lacks the natural beauty and feel. As you listen to each story, imagine yourself piecing together a vast and intricate puzzle. Each piece represents a fragment of the tale, and your task is to discern how these pieces fit into the larger narrative. Look for the pieces that seamlessly connect, creating a coherent and believable story, and be wary of those that seem out of place or forced. signs that the story may not be as it seems. Step 4. Evaluate consistency over time. Think of time as your helper in uncovering the truth. Over time, true stories stay the same because they're based on real memories. Lies, however, can change because they're harder to remember exactly. It's like watching a tree grow. It stays the same tree, but you can see how it changes through the seasons. By coming back to the story later and seeing if it still looks the same, you're checking if it's more like a tree or something that keeps changing shape. This is a patient and careful step, like a scientist observing an experiment more than once to be sure of the results. To practically apply this, ask the person to share their story again after some time, be it days or weeks. If their story is true, its main details should consistently match their original account, similar to how a tree's essential structure remains constant through changing seasons. Conversely, a fabricated story might reveal discrepancies or altered details, as maintaining the exact lie can prove challenging over time. This approach mirrors a scientist conducting multiple tests to confirm an experiment's outcomes, using the stability of the narrative over time as a measure of its truthfulness. Step 5. Look out for cognitive load indicators. Finally, watch for the small signs that show someone is under pressure because lying takes extra effort. It's like when someone is carrying a heavy backpack. You might not see the weight, but you can see how it makes them walk differently. These signs can be subtle, like someone pausing too long before answering or not making eye contact like they usually do. Additionally, look out for fidgeting, such as tapping fingers or shuffling feet, which signals discomfort. A person might blink more frequently or swallow hard before speaking, reminiscent of someone clearing their throat before a difficult conversation. Changes in the pitch of their voice, becoming higher or cracking, can betray the strain, much like a singer's voice under duress. Moreover, rapid breathing or an uptick in the use of filler words like, or you know, might indicate they're stalling for time. Spotting these signs is like putting together the pieces of a puzzle, recognizing that the person is trying to hide something. Pay close attention to how they normally act so you can tell when something doesn't match up. By following these steps, you're like a detective using simple tools and sharp observation to uncover the truth. It's a journey of patience, empathy, and careful watching, where you learn to see beyond the surface and understand the stories people carry within them. As we finish our look into truth and lies, it's clear that learning about this is more than just catching liars. It's about understanding the deeper, moral parts of talking to each other. This knowledge is not just a tool, it's a duty, asking us to use what we know kindly and with respect. Our journey to understand people doesn't end here. If you're now more interested in human nature, join our talk. Share your thoughts, what you've seen, or questions, and let's keep exploring together. By looking for truth, we're not just finding lies, we're connecting more with the world and the stories that make us who we are.